Hello, everybody. This is Kyle, Community Manager for Sauropod Studios. I've been in the community a lot lately, and there's a lot of confusion and a lot of gripes related to how things work, and a lot of people assuming that they just plain don't work. So I put together a little video with tips and tricks and just a little bit of information to try and help some people out, help them learn a little bit more about the game, how to make use of the various systems, because some of them can be a little bit obtuse and difficult to comprehend at first. I only learned through trial and error when I originally played the game myself. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about, the big thing that's been mentioned over and over and over, of course, is pathfinding. Now, I'm going to give a couple of examples here. Something like this and this is not great. This is a one wide path. This is too wide, but still pretty small. This is a one wide stair, and that leads to traffic jams and Brictrons bunching up on one another and unable to really get their work done. Whenever you're laying out your castle, laying out your things, try and have more open paths, and multiple paths if possible. Like, for example, this over here. You have if you can make your stairs too wide, try and have more than one possible stairway. That way your Brictrons can path around each other. And when you have doors, try and have two. Have more than one entrance into your castle. They don't need to be immediately adjacent. They'll find them, but try and have more than one. Same with your paths up on top of walls when you're building. Try and have more than one of these stairways going up to get your Brictrons on top of walls so that they can build your castle without a problem. To try and demonstrate how just a little bit of good pathfinding will help things out, I've actually set up two scenarios here, and I'm going to start them both, and then we're going to see how they do and where they are when we finish the video. So let me unpause these. I set this up specifically so that we can run into roadblocks. So, while they're doing that, let's look at some other stuff, shall we? One thing that I've heard said several times is talking about stairs and scaffolding and stuff like that, and easy ways to get up high in your castle so you can build vertically. One little trick I've discovered with columns is that you can actually place diagonally from columns, which will allow you to make these 3x3 spiral staircases, like so. And these are perfectly valid, and they're supported, and they'll build up, and then they have an additional path. And it's easy, and it's cheap, and it's quick, unless you have them bunch up like that. Thus, the idea of having multiple paths when you can. Additionally, we've heard several people say that they place a door, and then they can't use it. They can't finish their archway. They're trying to build a door like so, and then they place the door, and then they want to finish their archway. They want to finish off the wall, and suddenly they won't place that block. It's because there's a dynamic object in this block here, in this area, and that keeps them from being able to place this block. This block becomes invalid. So whenever you're placing a door, always build your archway first. Go ahead and let them completely finish that, and then plop a door into the open space, and you won't have that problem. Now let's move on to logs, because we've had lots of people go, well, planks don't work, well, logs don't work, how can I make a bridge? And there's a few tricks to it that aren't really very apparent until you've played with it a lot. The big thing is to try and have supports. You want to have a way for them to actually do it. If you support the bridge, the span, while it's being built, you can then knock out the supports after it's done, and that will stay up. You won't have to worry about it. And also note that these placements aren't valid, these placements aren't valid, and even these aren't valid because this log isn't supported on the far side. Planks have to attach to a horizontal log, otherwise they won't work. and it has to be supported on both ends, like these are over here. Logs can normally cover a gap of up to 3 full logs wide. They'll place the ones on either side, and then they'll place the one in the middle. But it has to be supported. And the same applies to planks. Planks can cover a gap of up to 3 planks wide, so long as they're both supported by logs on each side. Now there's a way around that, again, like the same with the log spans. If you just support the ones in the middle so that they can get placed, and then you'll be able to knock out those supports. And as our Brictrons finish up that spiral staircase over there, we'll be able to see that. They'll come over here and get all of this stuff placed. While they're doing that, one thing that's worth mentioning is block placement, because we've had a lot of people say, well, I'm trying to build my wall, and as soon as I get above 2 blocks, all my workers go stupid and they just stop building. In reality, the Brictrons have a reach. They can only place at their feet, and then with blocks, with stone, up to 2 blocks. They can't reach this third one. The stones are too heavy. Logs, fortunately, are a little bit lighter, and they can heft those a little bit higher. So with logs, you can place at your feet, and then 1, 2, and 3, which means that this they can build, but they wouldn't, because technically this one is at a level of 3. So that's how those work. Now, as you can see, they finished that spiral staircase, and they come over here and started building this span, which they're going to have finished up here in just a moment. Now that that's finished, I can go ahead and queue up and tell them to get rid of these supports. And you'll notice that they're also placing these planks, because now those are valid. These logs are fully supported. This plank on the end, however, is not valid. Planks can only attach to horizontal logs, not vertical. And you'll notice that none of this stuff has gotten built, because none of these are valid. But they're going to come over here now and handle these planks. And let's just give them a moment to do that. They work pretty quick, so it shouldn't take long. And he's gonna... only 3 left. Going to the old ones, there we go. And now we can knock out all these supports as well. And those planks will stay up. So as you can see, that stays upright. And as they destroy these, oh, it's getting dark. Hurry up and finish. As they finish these, you'll see that these too will stay up and not break. So long as you support it when you're first building it, it will stay supported and you can knock out those supports. Now, as far as the pathing goes, let's see how that ended up. As you can see, on the one with the 2 stairways, the two wide stairways, everyone's still going, and it's going up fairly quickly. All things considered. Meanwhile, on the other side, they got 1 exactly. Oh, no. 2, 3. They got 3 blocks placed before they jammed up. So when you're setting up your castle, try and give them room to move. Try and make your paths wide, and if possible, give them multiple paths, and you'll have a lot less problems with your workers bunching up and stopping working. Brictrons of the same job can pass bricks, but if they are of different jobs or in different work groups, they can't. In this case, the 4 wide stairs here were in one work group and these were in a different, and that's why they jammed up so very, very quickly, because they can't pass the block since they're technically in separate work groups. If you make your paths wide, even if you have separate work groups, as you can see, they'll keep working. They'll find ways around one another instead of ending up with a big traffic lock. So, thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions, if you think that this video could be better in any way, please leave a comment, let me know. I'm always in the Steam forums. I'll be in the comments below. And I'll definitely read into any suggestions that you have, and if I see a change that needs to be made or someone has a really good idea, I'll make sure to implement it, and I'll refilm this video if necessary. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you all for your support. It's always been really, really good, the support from our community, and we're lucky to have you guys. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.